And speaking of the sky, we are exploring rockets too. Because the future of mobility shouldn't be limited to just Earth, or just one car company for that matter.
Toyota's going to space. No joke. The car giant just announced it's making rockets now. From highways to the heavens, they're seriously leveling up. So picture this. You're scrolling through the latest news thinking it's going to be another regular day in the world of cars and tech. And then, bam, Toyota drops an announcement that makes the entire industry sit up straight. And not just the car industry. We're talking aerospace, tech, even government sectors. Because Toyota just announced they're officially entering the space race. Yeah, you heard that right. Toyota, the brand you probably know for building some of the most reliable cars on the planet, is now aiming for the stars, literally. All right, this isn't some PR stunt or sci-fi fantasy. Toyota is seriously launching a whole new space division. Not just satellites or cool space-inspired cars, but actual rockets that can break through Earth's atmosphere. What's crazy is this didn't just pop up overnight. Toyota's been quietly building this for years, hiring aerospace engineers, propulsion experts, materials scientists. This is a carefully planned move, not a last-minute idea. You might remember Toyota worked with Japan's space agency on a lunar rover. That moon buggy for astronauts. That was huge, but building a rocket to blast into orbit, that's a whole different ballgame. During the announcement, Toyota said, "We see space as the next frontier of mobility." And that's the key. Mobility has always been their thing, from cars to hybrids to robotics. Now they're taking that idea into space. It makes sense when you think about it. Space is no longer just NASA's playground. SpaceX opened the door for private companies, and now companies like Toyota, with their engineering, R&D, and global reach, are stepping in. Yeah, a car company building rockets sounds wild, but Toyota's been around for over 100 years, and their core philosophy is Kaizen, continuous improvement. They're constantly refining every detail, which could give them an edge in this crazy complex rocket game. So from making cars to aiming for the stars, Toyota is making a bold, smart move into space. And who knows, one day they might be the ones taking us off this planet. Okay, let this sink in. Every 1.5 seconds, a brand new Toyota rolls off a production line somewhere in the world. That's not just fast, it's insanely precise. Toyota builds complex machines with crazy attention to detail. And that kind of precision, it's exactly what you need to build rockets. But Toyota isn't just good at making cars, they've got deep pockets too, with nearly $60 billion in cash. That means they can afford to take big risks and invest in space tech without breaking a sweat. Plus, they've been quietly prepping for this for years. They've been working on hydrogen fuel cell technology, like in their Mirai car, and that tech actually overlaps with rocket fuel tech NASA uses. Their research on lightweight, strong materials for safer cars also works great for spacecraft. And their obsession with automated manufacturing. Imagine using robots and AI to build rockets fast and cheap. That's a game changer. So Toyota jumping into rockets? It's not crazy. They've got the tech, money, and know-how. They're not just trying to catch up, they're playing their own game. From building cars that move us on the road to rockets that could take us to space, Toyota's aiming higher than ever. But the real game changer could be Toyota's manufacturing process. Most rockets today are basically handcrafted, slow, expensive, and bespoke. Toyota, on the other hand, is a master of lean, high-volume production thanks to their famous Toyota production system. They want to apply that to rockets, standardizing parts and automating assembly lines to dramatically cut costs and speed up production. A Toyota executive put it this way: "What SpaceX did with vertical integration, we plan to enhance with lean manufacturing principles." In other words, they want to build rockets with the reliability and efficiency of a Camry, not the exclusivity and cost of a custom supercar. So yeah, it sounds wild, but with Toyota's tech, money, and manufacturing mastery, this space journey might be a lot closer to reality than you'd think. Now let's talk money, because building rockets isn't cheap. Traditional rocket development usually runs into the billions, with painfully long timelines that can stretch for years. Toyota is betting that their manufacturing know-how can flip this whole model on its head. By using existing infrastructure and applying their mass production techniques to aerospace parts, they want to slash both the time it takes to develop rockets and the cost per launch. The commercial launch market today is all about efficiency. SpaceX shook things up by bringing launch costs down to around $2,700 per kilogram to low Earth orbit with their Falcon 9. Toyota knows they're stepping into a competitive arena, but they believe their focus on reliability, smooth operations, and scale, the very things that made them giants in the car world, can give them an edge. Toyota's financial muscle is a huge advantage. They have deep pockets and don't face the same pressure to turn a quick profit that so many aerospace startups do. This kind of patient, long-term investing is nothing new for Toyota. They've done it before in tech like hydrogen fuel cells and advanced batteries. So this space gamble fits right into their bigger picture of pioneering future mobility, even if the payoff takes time. So how exactly is Toyota planning to launch itself into space? Not by rushing in, they've laid out a smart, step-by-step roadmap instead of diving headfirst into full-scale rockets. Right now, they're in Phase 1, developing and testing components. Their team is using Toyota's materials science know-how to build lightweight, high-strength parts built for space, and they're also prototyping hydrogen-based propulsion systems. The first real test comes in 2027, when they plan to launch a suborbital demonstration flight. This will help them prove their tech works before they move on to something bigger. The goal? Full orbital capability by 2030. As one Toyota executive put it, "We respect the complexity of space systems and are approaching this with appropriate humility." They know the risks, but they also believe their engineering and production strengths can take them from the road to the stars. So why now? Why would Toyota jump into space when they've already conquered the roads? Well, the timing couldn't be better. The global space economy is booming, on track to hit nearly $1 trillion by 2030. What's driving that insane growth? Cheaper launches, mini satellites, and a whole new wave of commercial uses. Everything from satellite internet to Earth monitoring. Basically, demand is skyrocketing, and current launch providers can't keep up. Toyota sees a golden opening. Sure, SpaceX and Rocket Lab have shaken up the game, but the truth is, there's still not enough launch capacity to meet the explosive growth in satellite constellations. With thousands of satellites planned for orbit, someone has to build the rockets to get them up there. Toyota thinks its production scale and efficiency can help fill that gap. Plus, this move lines up perfectly with Japan's renewed focus on space. The government's backing private sector efforts more than ever, creating a regulatory environment that's just right for a major player like Toyota to jump in. It's not just about timing, it's about alignment across business, technology, and national strategy. Now let's be real, Toyota's entering a field packed with heavyweights. SpaceX, with its reusable rockets, has totally changed the economics of space. Blue Origin's slowly but surely building both suborbital and orbital launchers. And then you've got Boeing and Lockheed Martin through United Launch Alliance, still major forces in the game. But here's what makes Toyota different. It's not trying to outspace SpaceX. Instead, it's looking at strategic partnerships and unique contributions. They've already teamed up with JAXA, Japan's space agency, and are reportedly chatting with multiple satellite manufacturers about launch collaborations. And with their global manufacturing network, Toyota could link up with partners in ways few others can. As one spokesperson put it, "We're not just trying to compete, we're trying to complement. We bring a manufacturing edge that can benefit the entire space ecosystem." But there's no sugarcoating it. This isn't going to be easy. Making rockets is a whole different beast from making cars. A typical car has around 30,000 parts, but a rocket? Try over 100,000, each more sensitive than the last. One small error and the whole mission fails. So Toyota's retooling its entire engineering playbook to rise to the challenge. They're building a dedicated aerospace center, hiring a blend of automotive veterans and aerospace pros, and investing big in digital simulations to test ideas before they hit the hardware. It's a full-on transformation, and maybe the biggest shift: safety culture. In cars, you can over-engineer for safety with extra weight and backup systems. But in space, every gram counts. Toyota has to strike a fine balance, keep things safe, but also sleek, lightweight, and efficient. It's a whole new way of thinking about risk. Toyota's rocket work is just part of a bigger plan. They're also pushing forward with a lunar rover alongside JAXA that lets astronauts explore the moon more easily without bulky spacesuits. On top of that, Toyota is exploring manufacturing in space, using microgravity to create materials and medicines you can't make on Earth. Controlling their own launch capabilities lets Toyota speed up these wider space projects. Plus, the tech developed for space won't just stay there. Innovations like advanced materials and better propulsion systems could improve their cars and production methods here on Earth. This crossover helps Toyota spread the value of their research across different areas. The road ahead won't be easy. New tech, tough regulations, and fierce competition await. But Toyota's track record of careful, steady innovation in cars and clean energy shows they know how to adapt and succeed. Watching Toyota move from cars to rockets shows how industries are blending. Companies strong in manufacturing and innovation can play key roles in space exploration, no matter their starting point. If you're excited to see how Toyota changes the game in space and beyond, make sure to hit subscribe and stay tuned for the latest updates on this incredible journey.